Table Mountain, a major tourist destination for viewing spring wildflowers. But it only looks like this for a few weeks of the year. The rest of the year looks like this. Dry, hot, and desolate. So why are there so many wildflowers in this rocky terrain that don't exist just a few miles away? Well, I was really interested and honestly had zero idea, so I started doing some research and ended up down a historical rabbit hole of very fascinating information, and here's what I found. Table Mountain is a prominent basaltic mesa located in the Northern California foothills, deriving its name from the obvious plateau. The land was originally set aside in 1993 by the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, and eventually over 3,300 acres were obtained due to a 1988 California proposition that granted over $700 million to the California Wildlife, Coastal, and Parkland Conservation Fund. Prior to this designation as an ecological reserve, the land was primarily used for grazing livestock, some of which is still done today. But before the grazing, all sides of the mountain were used in mining operations dating back to the 1800s and the California Gold Rush. In fact, an open-pit mine still exists on the west side of the mountain, and without the ecological designation, mining may have very well moved up into the preserve. But along with protecting wildflowers and sensitive species, the land has also been acquired to preserve northern basalt vernal pools. I realize that's a huge name, but basically they're rare pools made from basaltic rock that formed a while back in the mid-Miocene period. And by a while back, I mean 15.4 million years ago. Over a few centuries, Miocene lava flows erupted over northern California, originating near Susanville with a fissure at Thompson Peak. The result of this flow were clusters of basalt that were later named Lovejoy Basalt. If we overlay volcanic flows over the western states and zoom into northern California, you can really see how rare Lovejoy Basalt is. And one of the rare locations just happens to be Table Mountain, which is about 113 kilometers from the original fissure. So once you understand this history and know to look for Lovejoy Basalt at Table Mountain, it's really quite incredible. Just look at these insane columns of basalt. If you go into the overhang of the largest waterfall, you can actually see 3 geologic levels, with the Lovejoy Basalt hanging over the previous sedimentary layers. And I know I got a little bit distracted with geology there, but it's actually why the flowers exist that everyone comes to see. And this is where things get pretty crazy. Remember how I said these dense wildflowers exist just in this location and not a few miles away? Well, that's because the Lovejoy Plateau disappears, meaning there's a correlation between the wildflowers and the basalt. Basically, the pores in the Lovejoy Basalt hold water way better than the minimal soil on the surface, and the flowers love that moisture retention. Not only that, but the basalt stops a lot of water from actually sinking into the ground, and that's what's special about the vernal pools that I mentioned earlier. So although it's dry for most of the year, little bits of rain are enough to produce stunning wildflowers that aren't existent just a few miles away. So after a rich and unique history, we've ended up with this plot of land. A plateau with stunning wildflowers. And with a history that rich, I have no clue what's next for this land, something probably to do with overpopulation due to too many people on the land, destroying the wildflowers and destroying enough water for the wildflowers in the area, and the waterfalls all burns just gonna dry up and destroying the habitat. But anyway, basically what I'm saying is that if you come like everyone else in Northern California, just be sure to respect the environment and take care of it because it truly is a special place. Anyway, that's it for today. I know this video was very different from normal, but I had a ton of fun making it, and I really like this analysis style that has some research involved, some maps, some history, stuff like that. So let me know in the comments down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, and I will see you all next time.